Hello and welcome to American Wasp with Deter McBizness. I am New England's favorite white Anglo-Saxon Protestant gone West Coastal. And joined with me today, as always, Alex from Devil's Advocate Productions.
Hello.
How are you, my man?
What's going on, sir?
I had a really good time with you talking about the crime genre on Labor Day Monday.
That was great. Check it out, folks.
Yeah, check out that live stream if you haven't already. Do we want the chat on screen?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, why
not? So anyway, man, yeah, that was a fun episode that we did. Just a little bit more cultural commentary stuff. You and I both went to film school, so we know a thing or two about storytelling, especially visual storytelling. And speaking of storytelling, the Democratic Party establishment got its hand caught in the cookie jar trying to influence guys like David Pakman and Brian Tyler Cohen and a lot of other pro-Democratic Party, pro-centrist, pro-establishment leftists that call themselves progressives, but you and I know better. So I think this is great for us and great for people, the content creators who are on this space, because we know we're more authentic than that shit. We don't take money from anyone, and our agenda is our own agenda.
And importantly, if we did, we'd tell you.
Yeah.
We wouldn't take any money from anybody who said, hey, don't say that you're taking money from us. That would not be cool.
Exactly.
If we ever took money or sponsors or anything, we'd be saying, hey, I take money from this. I think it's a good product or whatever the fuck. Like, hey, DSA should pay us. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, if they had any money.
First of all, great headband.
Oh,
I don't think I've ever seen you with that headband.
No, I'm in the middle of a move, so I thought about like taking a shower and getting all dressed up for being on camera like I did on Monday, but then I was like, nah, fuck it. I'm just gonna throw on the headband because my hair is longer than it ever has been, and it's like extremely problematic if I don't like prepare it right. When I come out of the shower, so if it doesn't dry right, it looks weird. But thank you. Yeah, I use these when I work out. They turn heads at the gym when I go and work out. I wear the headband. But it's because I'm a sweaty bastard, and I have an enormous forehead. And speaking about the Godfather movies, the thing that I like to deal with in terms of my vanity is my enormous forehead. And I say, who else had an enormous forehead?
Fredo.
Marlon Brando.
Okay. We thought of two different characters there.
Yeah. Well, as you recall in our stream on Monday in Godfather Part 2, they slicked Fredo's hair back to make him look more like Brando. Yeah. Make him look more like his dad looked in the first movie, which was a really nice little detail there. From Francis Ford Coppola, one of the greatest, if not the greatest film director in Hollywood history. I know his library of content is not as impressive as a lot of other people's, but you cannot disagree with Coppola's talent. He is and he was the first ever film school student to make a feature film in Hollywood.
Really?
He was the first ever director to have gone to a major film school, graduated, and then made his feature film.
Wow.
Yeah, he was the first.
That's how new and recent film school was at the time.
I know, right? Well, yeah, I mean, it was just kind of a crapshoot. Old school Hollywood, a lot of people became directors coming out of the prop department. Like it was the most random thing ever. Just basically,
if you worked in vaudeville, you can get a shot.
Well, the whole thing is just always come in on time and on budget, and you'll continue to work. Yeah. You will continue to work if you come in on time and on budget every time, even if your content isn't that great. But anyway, that's just a little window into my old life, which I don't engage in all that frequently anymore. That would be the entertainment business.
We had on Monday that you should check out.
Yeah, check out that discussion that we had on Monday on my channel.
But you bring up the dark money in the Democrats.
Yes, let's
And
talk about
I
the dark
saw
money.
the Vanguard had the author of this piece on today, so I wanted to check out some of this interview.
Let's do it.
And
I watched it already, but let's do it for our audience.
Oh, I have it. Okay, great.
Good.
So, this will be a first time watch for me. But in case you haven't noticed, folks watching, very quickly, Taylor Lorenz, reporter, wrote a story for Wired talking about how there's this dark money group called Chorus that is working with the Democratic establishment to pay influencers, not specifically to say one thing or another, but paying these influencers because they already tout the party line and don't push back on Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, whatnot.
Right.
Establishment. And the Vanguard boys here had on Taylor Lorenz today, so let's watch some of this interview.
It's a great store. Either way, without further ado, Zach, let's welcome Miss Taylor Lorenz to the show. What's up? How's it going? Welcome to the Vanguard.
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Of course. Pretty exciting time. We were just talking about it. You're pretty much the main character on Twitter right now. So thank you for taking the time out of what we assume is a busy schedule.
Please. I've been the main character many times, unfortunately. Bye now.
Is there any chance, Taylor, your mic's not plugged in? It sounds like you might be on computer audio or something.
Let me fix. I have covered political influencers for over a decade. You can go back and find articles that I wrote even when YouTubers were visiting the Obama White House. I wrote a whole book, not to be the promo person, about the rise of the content creator industry and sort of I've always talked a lot about like how this industry is increasingly intertwined with politics, mostly on the right. I covered the 2016 election. I was on the campaign trail. I was in the room at the Hilton the night that Trump won with Trump and all the influencers. So I've covered this world for a long time. The Democrats finally, I think after losing multiple times over, now have decided to like really acknowledge the internet. And right after Kamala Harris's loss, I saw this story by Ken Bensinger in the New York Times, like a couple weeks after she lost, about Brian Tyler Cohen and this new group called Chorus, where Brian Tyler Cohen's talking about how like they're going to fix this messaging problem that the Democrats have, and they're going to make the left Joe Rogan type stuff. So that kind of like perked my ear up, and I started to talk to people. I reached out to content creators in the network, and I started reporting on Chorus. And I actually did a story for my newsletter about Chorus just a couple months after that, New York Times piece about Chorus fundraising and taking content creators' images off social media and putting them in their fundraising decks without consent, and some of the dubious ethical questions around that. And so Chorus.
Yeah, that was Pat Albigazzela, right? They had her likeness. She's running in like Evanston, Illinois. I forget the name of that district, but yeah, that was a crazy thing to do.
Absolutely insane thing to do. And, so I wrote about that, and I sort of continued to report on the company and the organization. I'm very interested in these like Democrat influencer efforts, because I think like the Democrats again have finally woken up to the fact that they're like terrible online, and instead of recognizing that it's a policy problem, they are sort of obsessed with this idea that like if they could just pay the right mix of content creators, like suddenly they'll be popular, like people will like liberals again.
I think that's a good place to pause.
Yeah.
That is, this whole story came out, and I've been thinking about what you've been saying about DSA and trying to get a hold of whoever's running the YouTube and being good messengers, and thought, like a lot of the defense of this group Chorus was, well, the Republicans do it. They pay their influencers. So how are we supposed to fight with one hand tied behind our back or whatever the hell? And I would agree with that if they weren't selectively choosing their influencers. Right. And I didn't know about that piece either, that they took people's like profile pics offline and just stuck it on their website as if they had a connection with them when they didn't. Like, Kat Abigazzela is not going to fucking sign up for this. So that's insane that they would just lie about who's supporting them or who they are supporting.
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to stuff like this in the independent media space, you just keep doing stuff until you get told not to, right?
Yeah.
Like it's better to say I'm sorry rather than ask permission. So a lot of those people recognize we really are powerless. Like, as independent content creators, we are at the mercy of YouTube, and if YouTube were to disappear us, it would be really hard to restart somewhere else. So it's got a lot of power. As frustrating as the YouTube algorithm is, I'm still grateful for its platform. But yeah, the way that the Democratic Party executed this plan is indicative of its incompetence. Yeah. It shows you that they just don't know how to do anything right. They're a bunch of fumbling idiots who aren't paying attention to the details. And at the end of the day, when in doubt, when an institutional failure arrives, blame leadership. Who's that guy
Yeah.
from Wisconsin? He's from Wisconsin. He's the head of the party now. He's the chair of the party. He got caught like crying to David Hogg in some call.
Oh, yeah.
because he was like, all upset about something.
That Hogg was criticizing leadership.
Ken Martin, and he's just a total loser. And the fact that guy's in charge and that they're doing stuff like this makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's a fucking loser. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we enough of this Midwest, like even West Coast. Like, I mean, a big theme that we've established on this channel, because you and I have worked together pretty much every time, is the I-95 intensity and the leadership, that the quality of leaders that come out of those cities, because the standards are so high in those cities.
Yeah.
And you better know what you're talking about and better not waste my goddamn time. The worst thing you can do in any business, in any relationship, is waste people's time. And now the Democratic Party establishment just got exposed for wasting a lot of their constituents' times.
Yes. Yeah, because we don't know how long they've been paying these influencers. We don't know, because, there's pictures of a lot of them with Biden on the campaign,
Right.
When they went to the White House and stuff. So it's like, how long has this been going on? And I think one of the best, like Taylor Lorenz is alluding to here, they don't think it's ever policy. They just think we just need the right messengers.
Right.
And if we get these young people to convince other young people that the message is good, don't worry, just vote for Biden or Kamala and we're going to be okay. Don't worry about what your friends might be saying about Palestine, or like these policies aren't going to help working people or whatever the fuck. They just think, well, the best criticism I heard was they didn't actually want to convert young people. They wanted to show their middle-aged people, their middle-aged base, hey, young people are on board. Don't ask them. Don't worry about it. Just look at this picture of Biden with these like influencers. You know what an influencer is. They're on TikTok and they influence young people. Young people love that. So they're with Biden. Ergo, you should be with Biden and don't worry about it. Don't worry about the policies.
This is a great question. How stupid does it look for Coors to continue this after the tenant media nonsense? Yeah.
Right.
I mean, just absolutely. And remember, just like most people are stupid. That's like the sad truth is that most people in this country and really in this world are stupid. And as I say in my essays, it's not necessarily because they're cognitively impaired. It's because they didn't take learning seriously and they never learned how to learn. Yeah. And so you've got, even in the Democratic Party, a bunch of people who think that, there's not, it is narcissistic, where it's like, it can't be us.
Yes.
It can't be us. It's not us that's the problem.
It's very much the principal Smithers.
It's the way we're communicating. It's like, no, it's the messengers too. It's both the messengers and the messenger. Like,
yeah, and now they're all, we're gonna sue Taylor and we're gonna sue White. No, you're not. No, you're not, because it's true. It's true.
The best two in this is David Pakman and Brian Tyler Cohen. It is awesome to watch them fucking squirm.
Flail.
Because those douchebags, like, they just straight up ignore Israel Gaza. Like, they just never talk about it. And it's because they don't want to get in bad with the Democratic Party establishment.
I just saw today that David Pakman's like brother or his brother-in-law is head of the ADL in his local.
Oh, really?
ADL, yeah. So I'm like, oh no, this is us. It goes along with what their mission is. Like, that's what I'm saying. They don't need to tell you not to talk about this. They just notice that you don't talk about that. And they go, well, okay, this is a guy that we can hire.
Right.
And it's ridiculous. Their excuse of like, oh, we're paying so that you take a course. You usually pay to take a course. You don't get paid to take a course in online media strategies. Plus, these people already have millions of followers. They don't need help.
Right. Yeah, I mean, David Pakman's probably a millionaire. He's been doing this for so long.
Yeah,
He's probably
2005.
got a net worth of over a couple of $1 million, and so that got addictive. Look, like when you start doing something that's making you money and you doing it a little bit differently and it makes more money, you're going to continue to hedge and start to move the content in that direction. So I'm not the least bit surprised. I'm a little surprised at how clear cut this was. How like there's just no ambiguity. They know exactly how much money they were getting, like $8,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like they know who was getting it. I mean, she what's her name? The journalist who exposed
Taylor
this?
Lorenz.
Taylor Lorenz deserves a fucking Pulitzer for this shit.
Dude, she does a lot of great reporting. She has
Yeah.
done, for the last I don't know how long we've been following her, but she has done great reporting on a lot of different subjects, a lot of internet culture, but also COVID and corruption, and just absolutely has been killing it. Like she said, it's not the first time she was the main character on Twitter. But I just saw this story, and this reminded me of the dark money thing, because this is a bigger scale.
Okay.
Barry Weiss and her free press outlet is getting bought by
Jesus
Paramount,
Christ.
and they
Jesus
want
Christ.
for the $100 to $200
Barry
million
Weiss.
range, which
What the
apparently
fuck?
is around how much Stephen Colbert's show would cost if they were telling the truth for the next 2 to 5 years. With Weiss receiving a job guiding editorial direction at CBS News in general. So if you've
Barry
not been a fan
Weiss.
of Barry Weiss and her career,
What is CBS?
stop watching CBS.
What is Paramount thinking?
I
What is
think Paramount thinks.
thinking?
I think Barry Weiss has done a very good job in tricking people, and mostly tricking like centrists into their own version of, like, what was it? The intellectual dark web, like the Jordan Petersons, the Ben Shapiro's. We're centrists. We have righties and lefties here, talking different opinions that all happen to be corporately aligned. But we have the appearance of a more independent, moderate outlet. And it tricked the bosses at Paramount. So I'm thinking, and also, it's Paramount. So they're still trying to suck up to Trump. That FCC merger has gone through with Skydance. But, I'm sure people in Trump's orbit do love the free press because it's very pro-Israel. It doesn't criticize the establishment much. And if it does, it's more establishment Republicans and Democrats, not the fringe. So MAG is okay with it. And,
By the way,
I don't
do you
know what they're
do you know
thinking.
do you know who started Skydance?
No, but you told me once. Remind
Yeah,
everyone.
David Ellison, Larry Ellison's kid. Larry Ellison is worth well over $20 billion, probably more than that now. He's the CEO of Oracle. So, yeah, David Ellison bought his way into Hollywood, and he did well. Like he bought, he did the Top Gun 2, he did World War Z, he did a lot of great stuff that was big budget and justified marketing expenditures, which is hard to do in Hollywood. So, kudos to another billionaire that comes from surreal privilege.
Yeah. So, speaking of Paramount, South Park is on tonight, folks.
Nice.
Brand new episode. So we'll see. I don't think they're going to bring up this because I doubt Matt and Trey even know who Barry Weiss is. But maybe in 2 weeks when they come back for the next episode, they'll have learned about this and go, what the fuck is this shit? Maybe we should make fun of them. Tonight, I believe, is going to be more pointed at tariffs.
Okay, cool.
So I'm interested. But I would like to move to. We're going to come back to the Democratic Party, but right now the Epstein victims held a press conference.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of good speakers. Weirdly, Marjorie Taylor Greene gave a speech that was like, "All right, okay, Marjorie," and it stemmed from this. So I just want to play this minute clip here. This is one of the survivors.
Transparency is justice. Release the files and the secrecy, and stand with us in declaring that no one No billionaires, no politicians, not world leaders is above the law. And let me announce now, several of us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list of names. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now, together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know were regularly in the Epstein world. And it will be done by survivors and for survivors. No one else is involved. Stay tuned for more details on that. Because history is watching, and so are the women who will come after us. Thank you.
Right. So they're saying they are going to create their own list. And that is fucking brave because any one of these people who are publicly known as an Epstein victim, if they say anyone's name, that person can absolutely sue for defamation and libel. However, if they compile a list together confidentially and no one knows who wrote what name, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene, again, she said it, and we'll see if she goes through with it. She said if they compile this list, she will herself take it into Congress and read it and put it on the record. And
big
then
balls.
It would be hard to sue because you don't know who put what name on the list. Big balls, and we'll see if Marjorie Taylor Greene sticks with it. But that is a huge development in the story, and I think this is needed. Absolutely.
Yeah, this isn't going away. This isn't going away.
Definitely not.
Trump thought this was going away. This is not going away.
And we're seeing how the Republicans are reacting to this, which is fucking hilarious. They're basically becoming the party of defenders of pedophiles. So here's Matt Walsh, your evil twin.
Yeah, exactly.
Saying, so these alleged Epstein survivors had a big press conference to urge Trump to release the names, even though they say they already know the names, but they won't tell us the names. Oh, okay, makes total sense. So, and also breaking, any Republican who signs Thomas Massey's discharge petition on the Epstein files will be seen as committing a hostile act against the Trump admin, per White House official. So they are straight up just defending Jeffrey Epstein and Maxwell, and now it's public, and now it's publicly happening, and it won't go away. You're right, and it's just going to dog them throughout the next 4 years, however long Trump lives.
I mean, they should be sticking this. The Democrats should be sticking this on everything that they can.
I really think they should have been for the last 4 years. I mean, with Biden in office, Christ's sake.
Biden could have released the Epstein files, but didn't, probably because Bill Clinton is in them, among others.
And we'll get to the Clintons soon.
Oh, God. The fucking Clintons.
But man, oh man, the Republicans are in shambles, and good, it's fun to see. But Democrats, as we've been talking about, are also in shambles, and bringing it to the I-95 area and the Zoran race.
Yes.
We've got new news that Trump advisors have disclosed the possibility of giving Eric Adams an administration position to get him to drop his reelection bid. They've also discussed offering the same to Curtis Silva so they can clear the race for Cuomo. Hilarious that they are doing that, considering Cuomo was like the antithesis to Trump during COVID, and he hated Cuomo because of that people were paying attention to him on CNN, guiding the country and whatnot, while Trump was talking about injecting bleach into yourself. Also, that Eric Adams was going to be offered HUD secretary is fucking perfect, because that's what they gave Ben Carson. That's what they give to any black guy.
Yeah,
it's HUD, housing urban development, black guy.
Oh,
get a black guy for this. Fucking on point. Like cartoonishly on point. So Zoran actually had a response to this, which I haven't watched yet. So I think we should check that out.
Yeah, let's check that out. But before you do, did you see that Bill de Blasio was on Morning Joe this morning? And
yes, I did.
and giving Zoran all sorts of props. It was kind of cool to see.
That's
Now,
great, man.
Morning Joe needs to step up and have Zoran on. They could, it's such a tragedy. Like in 10 minutes or 5 minutes, if I could get in a room with the executive producer of Morning Joe, I could be like, do you guys want to resurrect this network? And here's how to do it.
Yeah.
It's not they were in such a prime position to resurrect the left. And I mean, it's just a shame that guys like, it's a shame that people like Rachel Maddow and who's the guy from Brown? Chris Hayes. What happened to them? Like, they clearly just don't get listened to. And they have their little corner and they make their $10 million a year and they do what they're told. And,
and they do what they can. I will say that they do what
Chris
they can.
Hayes does what he can. Yeah.
Yeah. But Maddow,
Rachel Maddow's only doing one night a week.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
what are the other nights? Jen Psaki, is that her slot now?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh
yeah.
my God, dude. Getting the fucking spokesperson for the president show up on your network does not look good. Doesn't look good when Trump takes them out of Fox and then they come back. It doesn't look good when Democrats do it either.
No.
But here's Zoran.
You got some
to
sound
the news.
When Trump come on Adams' scheme behind closed doors, they're not worried about your future. Okay.
I think there are many ethical issues with this news. We are talking about a mayor who was facing an indictment that was then dropped by this administration to ensure greater collaboration with the immigration directives of this administration. Now being considered for a job offer such that he would drop out of a race to represent this city because of the fact that they believe that would increase the odds of anyone being able to defeat me. Those are incredible ethical issues. And none of this has to do with New Yorkers. None of it has to do with the welfare of this city. It all has to do with power. It all has to do with the audacity that we have here to believe that we could pick our own mayor, that we have to believe that the most pressing issues are not how to ensure that Donald Trump continues to have an ambassador in City Hall, but that New Yorkers can actually afford the place that they call home.
Fucking Tag him says it, man. This man knows how to frame a message and stick to it.
Yeah, he has to. He has to. The demand
so
is and when you have a name like that and when you look like that in America, you better have pretty close to perfect communication skills, and he does. And it's great to see because he can't afford to slip up or make a mistake, and it's actually a little tragic that he can't be more of himself. I think he's doing a good job of staying true to himself as much as he can, but deep down he wants to say fuck these guys. Like,
yeah.
I'm so sick of hearing people talk shit about my politics. I just destroyed everybody in the Democratic Party primary in New York. Listen up. This is the new standard. I am the new standard.
I am the Senate.
But that's right. But that's it's not his place to do that.
It's our place. It's our place as
place.
Media people to be like, yes, fuck those guys, fuck Adams, fuck Cuomo, fuck Silva, of course. But he's such a goofy little guy. But you don't want to give him power because Trump was a goofy little guy too. He was a goofy little funny guy that we would laugh at when he called into Fox and Friends and say, demand Obama's fucking birth certificate. Right. But then they elected him. And now
that's exactly. I mean, if you know your history, you know that that's exactly how Hitler came to power. He was considered a joke. Everyone thought he was just this loudmouth, weirdo, antisocial, retard who couldn't do anything right, and with a funny mustache. And a guy named Winston Churchill was like, "No, this is the future of the German war machine," and that's how Churchill became prime minister of the UK because he was an expert on Germany and Nazi Germany and Hitler in particular. So anyway, it's cool that Zoran is getting, is not apologizing, is not backing down. Did you have another piece of sound?
This is Tom Swazi, who I always in my mind think of as a Republican, but he is actually technically a Democrat. But he's also from New York, and he had this to say about Zoran and people generally who believe in his politics. Here's this clip from, I think it's on CNN.
Zoran Mamdani and other Democratic socialists should create their own party, because I don't want that in my party. Zoran Mamdani.
So that's him. And then I got another soundbite from another supposed Democrat, but a different flavor. Less appetizing. I think for most people. This is Destiny, streamer. Also reviewing.
You're a little underwater right now with your audio.
Okay, this is
There you go, that's
Destiny
better. There you go.
streamer reviewing a clip from Hassan and echoing similar sentiments as Tom Swazi, official New York Democrat.
To shrink our tent. And in a time where we should be expanding.
By the way, you are shrinking the tent. You are shrinking the tent. There are more people that are pro-Palestine than pro-Israel right now, all around. And go make your own party. Leave, move, just move.
And when why? Why should we leave?
Yeah, exactly.
Why should we leave? We're the one we're right.
Right.
I mean,
and we're winning.
Yeah, and we're winning.
Like,
so
you
do you
go
want us to
create
go,
your own
too?
party.
By the way, it's a two-party system. I'm pretty sure Destiny is on record as understanding the duopoly. I mean, he's not stupid.
No,
I mean,
but
he
wants money.
He knows that progressives have nowhere else to go. So what the fuck is he doing? That guy's such a loser.
Yes.
That guy's
very
such a,
much
like
so.
he's such a loser, and he's like a waste of potential, because with the right coach, he's like one of those players that was like really good in high school but couldn't make it in the pros or college because he wouldn't listen to the coaches. You know, and if he were coached well, he could have been a real asset to the left. But
he could have been.
No.
He could have been.
Yeah.
But he's also a sex pest and a menace.
Yeah, he's
so
maybe
maybe leave him in the dustbin.
We don't need him.
But let's check in. Let's check in and see if they're right. And these are small examples, I will admit. But let's check in on what presumably is a bunch of Democrats, or at least left-leaning people, here at the Venice Film Festival, after the voice of Hind Rajab, a movie about the Gaza child of 5 years old who was riddled with like over 300 bullets a couple of years ago, when the genocide began. And this is the longest standing ovation they got at the festival. And let's take a little look here.
This was at the DSA convention. Nobody got a bigger applause than the Free Palestine chants.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Free Palestine chants were by far the most disruptive of the entire weekend.
And you're going to see, so this is Venice, a film festival. You're going to see them at the Oscars next year. You're going to see, like, look, the establishment takes a while to agree to acknowledge genocide. And these are filmmakers, these are artists, these are people that you've, in your essays on American Wasp, which you should check out, folks, you talk about the line between creativity and what is it, athletics?
Oh,
Athletics
so
and
it's artistic versus athletic dispositions, yeah.
Right.
And
need to win versus the need to create.
And communicate and create connection with other human beings. I mean, it's a very no one's more sports obsessed than America. That's what I don't think a lot of Americans realize. We just take our obsession with sports as normal, but it's not. It's superlative. No other country has the kind of sports culture that we do.
What about the UK and the fucking soccer?
That's only one sport. We have the
Okay,
NFL,
fair.
we have the NBA, we have Major League Baseball, we have the NHL.
True.
We have, and not
I didn't
to
think about
mention
that.
the enormous amounts of money that come out of college sports. And college sports is effectively a minor league for pro sports.
Yeah.
No,
that's a good point. I didn't think about that. But all those people, those are people with money. Those are people who donate to politicians. So people are going to see that and start going, oh, maybe we're going to change our vocabulary a little bit. Maybe we've got to start, even people like Cory Booker and Kamala and all them, they're going to, maybe, we want their money. We want their donations. Maybe we got to start acknowledging. Maybe we can blame Trump for this. Maybe we can tie it to Trump somehow. But those are rich people. And let's take a look at if Swazi and Destiny are correct about the average person and what they think. So this is a TikTok, and just one person, just an example, But here's what she says.
Does anybody else find it insane that the majority of us spend our days at a job that we don't particularly want to be at just to collect a paycheck big enough to pay our bills and pay our taxes and whatever else we need to literally survive? And then you come home in the evening and you only have a couple hours to yourself before you have to go to bed and then do it all over again. And you arrive to the weekend and it's beautiful because you don't have to go into work, but it's over in a blimp and then you're right back onto the same cycle. There has to be more to life than this. I am posting this as a vow to myself that I am finding something different because there has to be more to life than this. Does anybody else?
Yeah, and she is not the only one who feels that way. Gabrielle Perry, who's a great epidemiologist, she's been on Olay's show and Leftist Mafia, says peasants in the 1300s before a revolt. She's not the only one. I've been feeling this way. My wife's been feeling this way. All our friends have been feeling this way. Something's got to give, and I think it's happening now. You know, we've been talking a lot about Kat Abugazela and Omar Feta and Graham Plattner in Maine, Zoran. Like, this energy is manifesting, and I don't think either establishment is going to be able to bat it away this time. This is not Occupy. This is not, you know, Black Lives Matter, where it's just one little issue and maybe we can address some of that and then pretend that the rest of it is fixed. It's not going away, folks. It's not going away.
Two things for you.
Rising up.
Two things I'd like your opinion on. One is, should I do a video essay appealing to Gavin Newsom, like OG Gavin Newsom, like what happened to young Gavin Newsom? Like, he was all about Medicare for all. He sounded like an FDR Democrat. What's going on, Gavin? If you really want to be president and go down in history as the best president we've had since the 60s, then here's how to do it. So that's one thing I want your opinion on, is that question. And the other thing is, do you think I should do more like emotional content like that? Because I feel like women in particular do well with, hey, this is how I'm feeling and here's why I'm feeling it, and I think this is relatable. But I'm wondering if, like, the Bernie bro who is like unapologetically pissed off, it's like that fight to the right but love to the left thing. What does that actually look and sound like?
Yeah,
I don't know, because I don't really do anything with TikTok, and I feel like I should, and that would be maybe a good way to do it.
That
like
would be a good way to do it, I think.
Yeah, a daily like how to talk about it.
Yeah, little bite-sized pieces of what's already in your essays for TikTok. Like a pointer. You can even chop up the essays themselves.
Yeah, I have done that, but I don't know if I've done that as much as I need to.
I mean, so TikTok is something that where you got to be posting like multiple times a day.
Right. Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
And what about Newsom? You think I should do the video about Newsom?
I think a video about Newsom would be good. Just generally, like, hey, this is what he used to say. This is what he's saying now. He seems to blow with the wind. Maybe if he stuck to some of these better policies, he'd have a chance. And people would look at him not like a weather vane. People would look at him like, well, he stands 10 toes down on these specific issues. And at least people like that. People do like when people stand on business, even if they don't agree with it. They at least go, all right, look, I'm giving props to fucking Marjorie Taylor fucking Greene, because she's like,
this is what I want to do, Sassy, is I want to give him the exorcism. I want to I would call the video either the exorcism of Gavin Newsom or the resurrection of Gavin Newsom.
That's good. That's a good idea.
I mean, because I really do think that the best we can hope for in terms of presidential politics is being able to influence him or whoever wins that Democratic Party primary in 2028. I don't think we're going to end up, like having a Zoran run for president in 2028. I don't think anybody could.
No.
Like AOC, if she had played her cards right for the last 10 years, could have been that person, but she didn't play her cards right.
I mean, it's still very early. I was talking about this yesterday. Like, we never get out of election cycle anymore. Like, there's no break anymore. We're always thinking of it. Yeah, maybe if you're lucky, but we're already
18 months.
Thinking
18 months from the election. 18 months from November, not 18 months from when they take office in January.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would say. Yeah, that's what I would say.
But I think it's getting smaller and smaller to the point where, like, the election's happening.
Well, Congress
Like
is
the
just
day
a
after,
fucking
they go, okay, who's next?
Congress is just a absolute like joke. I mean, this is what I'm talking about when I say MSNBC could become the next great media voice, in that there's no reason why they shouldn't be doing content related to every single member of Congress, every single Democratic member of Congress.
Yeah.
And promoting, lesser known names. I mean, AOC is great, but she's not the only progressive out there.
Yeah.
I see something like Kat Abagazalia is getting on CNN sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's good.
That is good. And I'm happy to see her go on CNN. I'm happy to see CNN have on even the I've Had It ladies from the podcast, or, have Bill de Blasio going on Morning Joe. They probably thought he was palatable. We've had him on before. Yeah, he's going to endorse Zoran, but like, whatever. We're still not actually having him on. But, they're going to hold out until they absolutely have to.
Right.
Latino, you're right. Problems, liberals, and fascists both agree.
Yeah, and I would just say it's definitely the capitalist class for the Republican fascists, and it's probably like an out-of-touch intellectual class for liberals, but they're still capitalists.
Yes.
They still believe in the for-profit motive as the engine for an economy. And I was watching a video recently of about because I'm interested in what does the society actually look like, right? Like, what are we going to nationalize? What are we going to federalize? And I saw a video. I have to finish watching it, but it said that we need to federalize about 70% of our economy, which is a lot.
Word.
Yeah.
But, we can do it. We can do it with the right people.
I mean, just basic like medications, like insulin and shit. I mean, so many of it, medicine is kind of a world of giants too. Like, there's so many people that take insulin. There's so many people that take this antidepressant called, or I don't know if it's an antidepressant, it's a mood stabilizer called lamotrigine. And, people take, there's no reason to be making money off those drugs anymore.
Yeah.
They've been around forever. They should be sold at cost.
And we can, pay out the CEOs. Hey, we're buying your company. Thank you very much for your contributions to science and the world. We own it now. Go retire. Go retire. Go live your life with your family. Right. Have a nice yacht or whatever the fuck. And now we're gonna let everybody buy this shit.
That's the cultural gateway, because when you live in a competitive society, resentment is actually a very powerful political tool.
Yes.
And that's the gateway into the massive amount of change that we need in order to save the country, is generational resentment.
Oh, yeah.
Of just like, okay, be grateful we're not taking away your Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
We're grateful you're not going to fucking jail.
Be grateful we're not taking away your entitlements. Now shut up, and like you're saying, go retire, get out of the way. Right? Yeah. There's that saying about activism: either lead, follow, or get the fuck out of the way. And now we need the boomers to get out of the way of all stripes, because they're too programmed. They came out of the Cold War thinking that capitalism was the best thing since sliced bread, and it's not.
Yeah. They've been tricked. And speaking of this establishment, Jerry Nadler has announced that he's not running for re-election. So my threats to primary him are going to go unnoticed, continue to go unnoticed. But someone's already throwing their hat in the ring. And it's Chelsea Clinton.
Oh, God.
Daughter of Bill and Hillary is considering a run for Jerry Nadler's open New York seat. And boy, oh boy, do I not want another Clinton pretending they live in New York.
Yeah.
So they can run for fucking office.
Yeah.
And plus, she'd be my congressperson. Like, I met Jerry Nadler. I've told the story on here about how he came to my apartment complex during Sandee. And I do not want Chelsea Clinton representing me, especially not with that picture that I have to imagine is going to be blasted if she runs, because it's already being blasted, of Ghislaine Maxwell at her fucking wedding.
Right.
I don't want that person representing me.
Yeah, I know. And it just resurrects. It just keeps alive this idea that Bill Clinton was a good president, and it's got to die. Like history
has to
versus
die.
public memory. The reason why the Democratic Party won't let go of Clinton is because he won, because he was a winner, right? And they're desperate to look like winners, and that's why they don't get away from Obama either. Obama was a fucking pussy who wanted everyone to like him. I don't care about leaders who are preoccupied with getting people to like them. I want leaders who care about people respecting them. I don't care. Like, it's like the relationship you should have with your political leaders should be very similar to the relationships that you have with your coworkers that you don't really want to be friends with.
Yeah. You respect them, you get their shit done, and then you go home.
You fulfill their needs, and they fulfill that needs, and then you're good to each other. You know?
I agree with Tagiam saying I'm perfectly fine with MTG going before Congress and dragging Bill Clinton all day long because bye-bye Chelsea. Yes, again, I'm giving props to Marjorie Taylor Greene selectively and in this specific situation for offering to do that. Now, we'll see if she actually does, but like I said, she's standing on business. She stood on, I don't want money going to Israel. Now, yes, she started her career saying there's Jewish space lasers and they control everything. But if her being in Congress has led her to learn, no, it's not Jews, it's Israel. And this country is influencing our politicians. And we shouldn't be sending money for them to just drop bombs on people indiscriminately. Even if she's doing it for selfish reasons of, I don't want my taxpayers paying for this shit or whatever the fuck, fine. So long as we don't get weapons still going to Israel. So long as she actually goes into Congress with this list, if they compile it and reads it into the public record of these are the people who abused the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. Read the list. If she does that shit, she's going to get respect because she fucking stood on business. Those were the two like QAnon things, frankly, that she ran on. Fuck the Jews and fuck pedophiles. And she's, she might be wrong about what the Jews stand for because I'm Jewish and I do not stand with fucking Israel. But if she's going to morph that into fuck Israel and fuck pedophiles, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. We're still going to fight her on tax policy and whatever the fuck, but like, goddamn.
I want to deal with this real quick. Fishbone. Yes, not all boomers are the same, and you can actually learn something from us. Whatever I can learn from the boomers is pretty limited at this point because I have boomer parents and boomer professors in college and boomer bosses, and the world that we're living in today is currently crafted by boomers. They're responsible for the norms that exist in our world today. So I think it's time for the boomers to learn from the younger generations because we're more empathetic than they are. I mean, Trump is more popular with boomers than any other generational demographic. He's stronger with boomers than any other generational demographic. So, yeah, I don't want to hate on the boomers too much, but in terms of individually, we can go on a case by case basis, but collectively, the judgment of your generation is in the can, and it's not changing anytime soon.
I only have a couple other things just to talk about here, just to laugh at, really.
Yeah.
We need some catharsis here. So here's Rudy Giuliani back on his podcast after his brush with a car. What a wild story he told about that, right? Some motorist broke down, or like some lady came from a domestic violence situation. He saved her or some shit. I don't know, but it's just a funny image of him in a fucking body brace. Here's Don Jr. doing coke, basically. Like, allegedly, I'll say allegedly, but, if you've been around people doing coke, this is what it looks like, folks. And
what is it?
Goes into his pocket and rubs shit on his teeth.
Right on camera.
That's a problem.
As if nobody noticed.
That's what I mean. Like, if you're that into
hilarious.
drugs, you think no one notices. You think you're slick. That's why, like, you would see meth addicts walking around and they're all jittery and shit. They're trying to keep it together. They think they're keeping it together. They're not. They're obvious.
No, they're not.
This is obvious. He's got a fucking problem, dude. And this one is just funny. This one's just a millionaire yacht crashing. As soon as it launched, it capsized. And
Oh
Deter,
shit.
you may know people who have things like this. What does one of these run you?
That one, depending on how long it is, anywhere from $5 to $10 to $15 million. Probably 10.
Jump it out.
Well, they have insurance. Like they have insurance for those things.
I mean, it's just hilarious. I can't imagine, hey, honey, let's take out the new boat. I'm so excited to try it out. It just immediately capsizes.
Yeah, those are like some of the biggest polluters in the world. Is those big mega yachts? They're just disgusting. The sailboats. If I was ever gonna like buy a big yacht, it would be a sailboat for sure. Because those things are great. It's like earned exploration. You're not burning fossil fuels to move around. It's a lot more romantic way to enjoy the sea, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. So
that's what I got today. The Democrats with the dark money thing, like, and Barry Weiss being in charge of CBS, like, what a fucking blow to a great network.
What you can do, weighing in here, I think of the boomers who were leftist in spite of pop culture. I'd hate to have made it through the decades of struggle just to be rejected by the political faction that finally agrees with me. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, and maybe I should be a little bit softer when I talk about the boomers, but it really just stems from the personal hatred that I have for my parents.
I understand. I got it too, man. I got it too. But I do understand because, Bernie's a boomer and he's been around forever. And I can imagine, look,
my congressman is not as old.
Yeah. And I can imagine someone like him being around for this long and finally starting to see young people like really take up the mantle and not let it go to the wayside. And that's why he's doing all these rallies. He did a rally with Graham Plattner.
But he's doing them all. But he's doing them all in red areas. Like I'd like to see.
Well,
him
he's
go
coming to New York
to
this
the city.
weekend, and I'm trying to see if I can find tickets or whatever it is. Find out where it is. So I want to go.
Nice.
That'd be awesome. And he's doing it with Zoran. So like, I love him just spotlighting. Like, hey, if you like me, you're gonna like this person. If you like me, you're gonna like this person.
Right.
That's what he should be doing, and he knows it. He knows this might last. I don't know. He's up there in age. So he's like, I got to get this out now. I got to highlight these people now because they're going to have to take over for me. And
well, I think Bernie was so used to being like a lone soldier that he just didn't think to build a team around him.
Yeah.
And promote more people and play national politics like that, kind of play the political celebrity politics. It's just not his style. It's not who he is. But at the same time, it'd be nice to have more names that are coming to these events that we recognize.
Yeah.
Plattner's exciting. He's going to take out Susan Collins.
Yeah, I hope so. Fingers crossed, knocking wood, but he's fucking going to do it. I think Bernie's realizing now that he's got to play that game. He's got to play the, building a coalition game. And it's finally time that I have people who will join and who will be part of this movement. Whether that lasts or not, we'll have to see. I have hope that it will. This time, again, it's not as ambiguous as Occupy was. It's not as specific as Black Lives Matter. It still holds all those ideals, which is important because those are good values to have. But it's more broad and it's more while at the same time being more focused, laser focused on policy and helping people materially with things that they understand. I mean, we played a week or two ago that Susan Collins town hall where all her constituents were screaming at her, going, "You're cutting Medicaid, you're cutting this, you're cutting that. Fuck you. We got to vote for Graham Plattner. I don't give a shit. You're a Republican. I'm a registered Republican. I'm voting for whoever's going to help me out because that's what most voters are. Most voters will go back and forth between parties because they don't pay attention as much as we do. They don't pay attention to the regular rat race of
especially
politics.
in a state like Maine.
Yeah, man.
State like Maine.
I've been to Maine. That shit is quiet as fuck. I get why Stephen King wrote horror movies there.
Yeah, they like their peace and quiet in Maine for sure.
Yeah, it is very, very creepy. But these people,
It's beautiful.
they want to
though.
live and
It's
let live.
It's a great state.
When it
Maine's
affects
a
them,
great-
yeah, it is. Oh, the lobster. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I was sure to try it before we left.
talk about sailing. There's some great harbors up in Maine. The problem with Maine is that it's basically a 2-month season. It's July and August, and then like maybe the last week or two of June, maybe the first week or two of September, and then it is fucking cold.
It's frozen.
It is
I can
really cold.
imagine.
You don't want to go on the ocean. You know, you don't necessarily even want to go outside. It gets so damn cold. So I love Maine, but it's oh, here we go. Correction. Bernie's not a boomer. I think this is right. He's a silent generation.
Oh,
Thank you, Surez, for
so
the
even
correction.
longer. He's been waiting even longer for people to come around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And look, the boomers have lived through, they lived through McCarthyism. They lived through the hippies and that being co-opted by rich kids. They lived through the civil rights movement and saw like, wait a minute, we were just getting to like the good shit that was going to help everybody.
Right.
Where are you going? Why'd you kill MLK? What's going on? So I do appreciate the boomers who have stuck with it all this time and are finally
not
like,
that many.
yes.
There's not that many of them.
Yes, there's just unfortunately not that many. Most people said, it's over. Let me go sell out. Let me go get my money and get mine while I'm still here. And frankly, I can't blame them, but I can blame the ones who actively hurt other generations who are like, well, I paid my student loans. Why should you guys get yours
Right.
canceled? Fuck you. You shouldn't have had to pay student loans. That was your politicians.
Well,
fault.
also the interest rates and the cost of tuition was a lot less.
Oh
when you
yeah,
went to
it
college.
was also like 200 fucking
No,
bucks
I
for
think
4 years.
I think the boomers were programmed by the 1950s and the early 60s to think like, oh, everybody can work hard and become a multimillionaire, and that's really where this delusion of capitalism started. This individualism that tells Americans that they can become Jeff Bezos. All you have to do is work hard. Like what?
And neoliberalism is that you can also be
It's called the
racially cool.
it's called the silent generation. Tag Yam. Between the boomers and greatest generation, it's called the silent generation.
Oh, really? I thought
Yeah.
the silent was the greatest.
No, the greatest generation are the people who fought in World War II.
Okay, and what's
You had to
silent?
be old. You had to be old enough to serve in World War
Okay.
II in order to be a
And
greatest
silent
generation.
would be their kids, and then boomers would be their kids.
Yeah, I mean, boomers and silent generation are mixed. Silent generation were born before the troops shipped off to go fight World War II.
Okay.
Like my dad was 2 years old when he met my grandfather because, my grandfather had to go fight World War II,
Right.
and did that
Okay.
thing.
Interesting. We're learning about generations, folks. But I think there is a rising tide here, and it's fascism. Fascism forces community. It forces people to look out for your neighbors because, oh my God, there's troops in the street. We're cutting. Everything costs $20 for a fucking thing of eggs. People can't afford. We got to build community and help each other out, and that breeds socialism. That breeds ideas like maybe we don't pay for the doctor. Maybe we don't even pay for housing. Maybe we have price controls like grocery stores. Maybe we have community-owned grocery stores. Maybe we have free transportation like buses and cabs and whatnot. And that's where we're going, and I hope we go there pretty fast because, man, it's we're gonna have to hold out. We're gonna have to hold out and hold this line and stay alive through this. But those of us who do, I think there's greener pastures coming. I think we'll be all right in the long run. It's just getting to the long run.
Well, I mean, it's going to be incremental change for the next 1 to 2 election cycles, and then hopefully after 2028, maybe 2032, we'll get some of that structural change. But the boomers got to die off and get out of the way in more ways than just voters dying off, but the publicly elected officials as well. So I think we can probably wrap it up there, unless you got any final thoughts.
Final thoughts would be, folks, share our videos. Share everyone. There's clips from this space on the This Space channel. You can share those. Whenever you see a topic that relates to something that we talked about on This Space, share one of those clips. Share one of those clips on Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, wherever the fuck. Or go to one of our pages. Deter's got great like video essays, they call them. maybe, but
Yeah.
like really like college course lessons about what is a WASP, what is conservative ideology, how to fight against it. Definitely show those. My channel is full of like music reviews and movie reviews and TV and stuff. Video games, Silk Songs coming out tomorrow. I'm so excited. And you know, if you see The Quartering or Geeks and Gamers or Nerdrotic talking about Superman, host my review under his tweet.
The Fandom Menace.
Fandom Menace. Oh, those fucks. I want to fight them. And I'm going to be
those
back
guys are douchebags.
on this space in an hour.
So oh, good. You're going to be back
talking
on this space
about
in an hour.
comics with Matt and Jake and Pep.
Nice.
Our worst comics ever episode. So yeah, just
Nice.
share our stuff. Like, get the message out there that this space is the replacement for TYT. This space is what Chorus wishes it could be. Get us out there. Get us out there, because I want this space to succeed. I think it will. I think we got so many fucking great creators. We've got new ones. Boston Brian. I don't know if you checked him out, but
Yeah,
he's
I saw
another
he's back.
I-95 guy.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
awesome, dude. That accent made me feel like I was back at Emerson. And Visora down under. She's on Thursday nights.
I don't know
I think
her.
she's in Australia. She's an expat. I think she's from America, but she's got the fire and fury that like Andrea. So it's very, very entertaining stuff going on here at this space. Deter, please take us out.
Yeah, I mean, you said it all, man. Just if you haven't subscribed already to my channel, please check out my channel. Check out the essays. Watch them in chronological order on 1.5 to 2 times speed. I'm very proud of that stuff. I go live with a fellow California lefty Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. And I'm on this space at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. I really appreciate you guys watching, and just don't ever forget that you don't get change in America by asking nicely. Keep watching this space and keep watching my channel and Alex's channel to learn how and why we can create a better American society than the one we have inherited.